Hello and good morning, wherever you're watching us this morning. It's great to be on live with you. My name is James Whitcomb and I am the candidate coach. Thanks very much for logging in. We're coming to you live via our YouTube channel, and we're going to have a great session today talking about LinkedIn. LinkedIn, a profile that you've already got on LinkedIn at the moment is doing a certain type of job for you. But is it doing the job well enough for you? Well, I'm going to pose that question to you several times today, and hopefully by the time we finish in half an hour, you've got 2 or 3 tips that you can take away to improve your LinkedIn profile. As the candidate coach, I use LinkedIn a lot for running the candidate coaching business. I also use LinkedIn a lot through my role at Smart Recruitment. I've spent a lot of time developing my profile over the years, and I've spent a lot of time reading the LinkedIn profiles of job seekers or people who are looking for work and have asked for advice. So I look forward to sharing some feedback with you today. We have got the chat function, so please feel free. A couple of people have said good morning in there already. Please throw in any questions as we're going along today. I'm coming to you live. This session is interactive. It's not pre-recorded at all. So I would love to answer the questions that you've got as we are going along today. Alrighty, so let's get into it. LinkedIn preparation for job seekers. Now, most of the tips I'm going to share with you today are going to be relevant whether you're looking for work or not, but you need to make sure you are doing these things when you are looking for work. Alrighty, just a little bit of housekeeping before we kick things off. If we are coming to you via our YouTube channel, which I mentioned being restreamed onto all of our partner sites, occasionally we have the odd glitch. Occasionally, not very often, but if we do have a glitch today, please stay on the line and I will reconnect. Ask as many questions as you like. And the great thing about coming to you via our YouTube channel is if you miss something or you want to watch something again, you can go back and watch a recording of today's session at any time. Okay, so today, what are you going to learn? What am I hoping that you will learn today? What will you get out of the session? Well, first of all, it's why LinkedIn matters. So I want to give you a little bit of an insight into why LinkedIn matters, how you can actually get yours what we call job seeker ready. So what are the things you need to do? How to become a respected contributor. In this second part of today, we're going to move from setting it up to actually maximizing it by becoming a respected contributor, avoiding what I think and what I call is the biggest LinkedIn mistake, which most people make. And then we have an opportunity for questions and answers on any recruitment topics all throughout today. Alrighty, so to kick things off with, a bit about me. I'm a director at Smart Recruitment where I've been since 2005. And over that time, I've conducted over 3,000 individual interviews and over 600 group assessments, placing over 1,000 people into work. So that's my background, 15, nearly 16 years in recruitment in Australia. And we launched the Candidate Coach in December 2019, the platform that we're meeting on today. So question for you, and I want you to type your answer into the chat box here. What would you score your LinkedIn profile out of 10? If I came to you and said, give it a score out of 10 right now, what would you answer? Do you think your LinkedIn profile is pretty good? Do you think it's pretty poor? Do you think it needs a lot of work? Or do you think it needs a little bit of work? Or are you just quite confused? Are you quite confused? Maybe you don't have a LinkedIn profile at all. The first number that come through is 3. So that's not a great score if you're rating your LinkedIn profile 3 out of 10. But hey, we can certainly bump that up by, I reckon, another 3 or 4 points quite easily today. So have a look at other people's profile. That's really always a really good way to improve your own, is to see what other people have got on their profile. Because the difference with LinkedIn as opposed to, say, Instagram or Facebook or something else is you have a lot of your own information on there in a way that you can be creative. So with other social media platforms, you're kind of sharing photos and updates, but the structure is very, very rigid. With LinkedIn, as I'll show in a moment, you can turn on and off a lot of things. And you can also choose to provide as much detail as you like. So you've got a lot more freedom. You've got a lot more license with your LinkedIn profile. So why do we actually need to optimize our LinkedIn profile when we're job seeking? Why? Why do we need it optimized? Because it's going to be looked at. It is going to be looked at. Recruiters are allowed to look at your LinkedIn profile. It is a publicly available domain. When you put anything on LinkedIn or on any other social media platform, you are putting it out for the public to see. And you always need to keep that in mind with all of your social media. And we've all seen thousands of stories, some of them recently, even this week, where social media has really had a terrible impact on people's lives and careers because they've posted something they shouldn't, or they've posted something, thinking it was a private message when it wasn't. So recruiters look at your LinkedIn profile. We're allowed to look at your LinkedIn profile. Funnily enough, we're not actually allowed to look at that information and use it to base hiring decisions on. But whether or not a recruiter can actually separate the two is really hard. So you need to expect that your profile is going to be looked at when you're looking for work, and therefore you need to have a good profile. We need to make sure that is optimized for job seeking because people are going to look at it. Here's a stat. LinkedIn users in Australia in January last year, 11 million people. 11 million people used the platform in January last year. It's close to half the population, and it'd be more than half the working population. So it is not just a small platform anymore. It is the main social media platform, absolutely, for business. It is the main way to find people, to connect with people, and to promote yourself and to show your personal brand. So it is here to stay for a long time. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to share some screenshots with you from my own profile. As I said before, I have spent a lot of time over the years developing my LinkedIn profile. I've got close to 20,000 followers, but none of that has happened overnight. I have spent a lot of time. I spend time daily, probably not daily, but several times a week I will post. And I'll also give a little bit of thought, a bit of planning into what I'm going to post and what I'm going to share. So I'm going to share with you my LinkedIn profile today and show you some things that you can do. All right, now, this is when you click on your profile. So if you've got your own LinkedIn profile, you might like to bring this up on your screen at the moment. But the top right-hand corner where I've highlighted in yellow, that's what we're going to click on next. Edit your public profile and URL. Sorry if it looks like I'm looking over here today. That's where my presentation screen is. We can actually edit our URL, and we can actually edit our public profile. What does that mean? Well, let me show you. So if we click on this yellow button here, okay, it will then take us to this next page. And up the top here, we can see public profile settings. On the top right, so we're going to go down the right first. First of all, we can edit your custom URL. I've actually not done this, surprisingly enough, but I would recommend that you do this when you're job seeking, particularly if you're going to put your LinkedIn profile on your resume. And I suggest that you do. So up here, you can click on the edit button, and instead of it being linkedin.com/in/James Whitcomb/ all these numbers and letters, you can customize it and make it a bit shorter and a bit more professional. We are then going to edit the content. So what have we got here? First of all, visibility. My visibility is obviously on for public. If you're going to have a LinkedIn profile, I don't recommend creating a profile and making it hidden. That kind of defeats the purpose of having a LinkedIn profile. We want it to be visible, but we can also show here what we're showing and who we are showing it to. So you can choose, for example, for your profile photo, you can choose to have it available to only your first degree connections. So first degree connections is somebody that you're already connected with. Or you can have it available to your network. So your network is first, second, and up to the third connection. So your friends of friends and their friends of friends. Or you can make it public. I've made it public, and my whole LinkedIn profile is as wide open as it can be. But you can choose to turn on some of these things or turn them off. So the background photo, the headline, the websites, the summary, the articles, your experience, current and past, and your education. You can turn on and off these things. So you don't have to have all of this information here. You can edit the contents, and you can click this button up here as well. So not many people are even aware of this particular page, but what I would do is customize your URL, and I think you should include your LinkedIn URL on your resume. If you missed our resume workshops last week, jump on our YouTube channel and watch it again. But I think having a link to your LinkedIn profile on your resume is a smart thing to do. But you don't want a really long link when you can condense it and customize it. So jump in here and choose what you want to have shown. Choose what you want to have shown. Some people don't feel comfortable having their photo on LinkedIn. with resumes, I say it's completely up to you. It's your personal brand. It's your choice. You need to be comfortable with it. But with LinkedIn, I would say you need to have a photo. It is a social media platform. It is a business and a networking social media platform. Not having a photo on there, gives the impression that you're not very approachable, and I think damages your personal brand. And people aren't going to want to connect or interact with someone who doesn't have a photo. So if you don't want to have a photo, you're kind of missing the point, I would say, of LinkedIn. All right. Now, back to when I talked about resumes, it's all about the front page. Well, LinkedIn's a bit the same. It's all about this top section of your LinkedIn profile. If you don't have a really good top section of your LinkedIn profile, people aren't going to scroll down to the middle or the bottom section. So the top section is what you can see on your screen here. So I'm going to show you how to customize some of these things. Okay, so first of all, we've got this banner up here. It's called a banner, LinkedIn banner. We can customize this. Now, LinkedIn gives you some options. You can choose from maybe 10. And so I'd suggest you could choose from one of those. But something else you can do is you can go to a website called Canva. So I'm going to drag this onto the screen now for you to see. Up the top left there, Canva, Canva. And if you go to Canva, you can type in here, LinkedIn banner. And what I'm showing you now, you can do for free. I've got a paid version, but you can do this for free. You can type in LinkedIn banner. And what you'll see on your screen now is pre-created but editable LinkedIn banner. So they're the perfect size. They're the absolute perfect size. So you can choose. And if you scroll down, it says here there's 428 templates. So choose a template from here and edit it. What you might notice is, hey, look, here's the one that I actually used. This is the one that I've got on my LinkedIn profile now. And I've just included the Candidate Coach logo in the middle there because I thought the colors worked well. But you can come and, oops, it's gone backwards too far. Let's do LinkedIn banner again. You can come here and you can choose any of these and you can edit it yourself. So let me show you how simple it is to edit. Let's say you like this one in particular. You just simply click on it and then everything here is editable. So if you wanted to change your name, you just click on it and you pop your own name in. Or maybe you don't even want to have your name. Maybe you just want to have, maybe you're going for a marketing role. And so you might put, marketing, maybe you're a marketing graduate, for example. And you might want to have a website there. You may want to have a photo on there. You may not. So we can just simply delete that. Even if we're doing something like this, LinkedIn banners are so similar for everybody that having something that's slightly different, really makes you stand out. And then if you want to change the color, you might say, hey, I'd like a little bit of, I'd like a bit more of a splash of something else in here. It's a little bit dull. So we can go through here and we can edit it all as much as we like. And then we simply click download. When we're done, we save the photo and then we go back to our LinkedIn profile and we can upload it. So this website, as I mentioned before, canva.com, see the logo there, Canva, an amazing Australian-owned business. Jump on there, check it out, and customize your LinkedIn profile. So customize that banner photo there. Easy to do. All right. Your headshot, friendly and professional. There's me smiling. I was at work that day. I am wearing a collared shirt and a blazer in that photo. That's the type of photo you want. Friendly and professional. It could be a little bit different depending on your industry. If you work in graphic design, you might want a slightly different edge to it. If you're working in construction, your LinkedIn profile is your personal brand. I wouldn't have, you with your arms around your mates at the footy or a wedding photo, friendly and professional. Friendly and professional. That is the first thing that people look at when they come to your LinkedIn profile is your face. It is your first impression. So you need to get it right. All right. So here I've written it, who are you? So just under your name here, I think it's about I don't think it's 140 characters, but it's something along those lines where you've got this little opportunity just to write something. So here at the moment I've got, and I change this from time to time because I'm a director at a recruitment agency and I run the Candidate Coach. The two are intertwined, but at the same time, they're a little bit different. So if I'm going to do a lot of candidate coaching stuff one week, I might say Candidate Coach first and agency director, or then I might switch it around. Like everything on your LinkedIn profile, you can change this every day if you want. But certainly when you're looking for work, you want to make sure that your messaging is right. So here, you might choose to have marketing graduate looking for work. If you're not looking for work, you might have, Yeah, I'm trying to relate it to marketing. You might have experienced marketing design consultant. But who are you? It's a bit of it's sort of 4 or 5 words just telling everyone straight away who you are. But it's an opportunity for you to sell yourself. And then the about section is a further extrapolation of who you are. So what have I got? I've got about is I am passionate about recruitment and finding the very best staff for our clients. That's what the best agencies do. And just as passionate about coaching candidates and giving them the very best chance. So again, you've got the opportunity for probably 2 to 3 sentences here. If you are looking for work, put that in here. Put that in here. A recent marketing graduate with high distinctions in my final year, actively looking for my first marketing role. Be really specific here, but sell yourself. Don't just say, I am looking for marketing work. Promote yourself. Talk about 1 or 2 of your achievements here if you can, because if somebody reads it, you want them to get the impression that you're a high achiever straight away. So make a statement here. The featured section, a lot of people don't use this. And you can see it is right up the top. It is going to appear on the screen straight away. LinkedIn have given you the option here that you can include different forms of multimedia. So I've included, I was fortunate enough to win some industry awards a couple of years ago. The first one there is an article. The second one is a YouTube video. So people can click on those links and learn a little bit more about me. But as I've said there, it is featured. It is featured. This is the really important part of your LinkedIn profile. Put something there. Maybe it's some work you've done. Maybe it's if you've got a portfolio of work, put your portfolio there. Put a video there. But it's this free space. It's this free space where you can choose to feature something. So this is a great opportunity for you to stand out here. So when we scroll down the page, we then get into, as we can see here, it's experience and education. And that's the way that LinkedIn's chosen to lay it out. We've got your career history first, and then we've got your education. So on this page, we have all of these things. We have dates, we have companies, we have job titles, we have qualifications. Those things must match your resume. I get really concerned as a recruiter when I get someone's resume and the dates are different to LinkedIn. It's got to be the same. The companies have got to be the same. The qualifications naturally have to be the same. So all that's got to be the same, but the actual description and what you've got under each role is very different. Like if this was my resume, I'd have more information. I'd have more information here. I've chosen to keep my descriptions quite brief. But if I was looking for work, I would extrapolate them a little bit. And again, if you've watched my resume workshop, the achievements are the key thing. So listing some achievements here. But we're probably not, I don't want you to copy and paste your resume. Don't copy and paste your resume here. People, we scroll up and down the page. If there's 3 dot points with a couple of things, a few of them might get read, but we don't want large, big paragraphs of text. Make it easy to read. Likewise with your education, I've got my degrees there, and it's pretty brief, but it's easy to read. All right, my question for you is: what do you think the biggest mistake people on LinkedIn make? What do you actually think they do? And I'll pause for a moment. What do you think the biggest mistake people make is on LinkedIn? And I see this hundreds of times a day. So someone's written unprofessional. Yes, being unprofessional is a big mistake. You don't want to be unprofessional on LinkedIn. But that's not the biggest mistake. The biggest mistake most people make on LinkedIn is they create a profile and they don't contribute. LinkedIn is a social media platform. You are going to get nothing out of it. Well, you might get a small, tiny little bit out of LinkedIn if you build a platform. But if you don't contribute, you'll hardly get anything out. So the biggest mistake that people make is they build a LinkedIn platform and then they do nothing with it. They don't contribute. Contributing is absolutely key. So if you want to have a great LinkedIn profile and you've built it and it is great, guess what? Every day that ticks past that you're not contributing, your profile is starting to gather dust. And it's gone from a very good profile to a good profile to an average one to a stale one. And that happens quite quickly. I can click on someone's profile and it tells me your activity. So you want to contribute, and LinkedIn relies on contribution. It's a social media platform. If you're not contributing, then you're just taking. So how do we do it? Well, start a post. And as we can see there, it's very simple: a photo, a video, a document, write an article. Or down the bottom here, celebrate an occasion, find an expert, share a profile, add a job, create a poll, or offer help. I'm not saying you need to post 3 times a day. I'm not even saying you need to post 3 times a week, but you need to be doing something. You need to be doing something. So maybe it's going on twice a week and it's just liking some content. Think I'm going to spend literally 5 minutes scrolling up and down. I'm going to check out the people that I most respect, that I follow or I'm connected with. I'm going to like or comment or see what they're sharing. And contributing on LinkedIn can be as simple as copying and pasting a link from an article you liked and sharing it and saying, hey, network, I read this yesterday. It really resonated with me. Here's the link. What did you think? If you can start to contribute content that is relevant to your job on a regular basis, you will start to create the impression with your network that you are an expert. If once a week you share a really good article, just once a week, and you do this every week of the year, 52 weeks, people will notice. People will notice that you share really good content. And they'll think, hey, they share really good content. They're really passionate about their work. They must be an expert. You are creating a really favorable impression of your personal brand by contributing to your network. All right, so I want to share with you the power of connecting with people that you want to be connected with. And I get people trying to connect with me all the time as a recruiter. This is a very common connection message that I get. Hi, I'm currently looking for engineering jobs. My resume is attached. Mark. Now, I know that Mark is looking for work, and good on him actually, because he's actually reached out. Most people don't do this. Mark's reached out to me, but he has made so many mistakes in this message, and he has blown such a great opportunity. So what are the mistakes he's made? Well, first of all, he's just said hi. He's messaging me on LinkedIn. He knows my name. So I know that all he's done is literally copy and paste, and he's probably blasted this out to 500 recruiters. But he hasn't even said, hi, James. All he needed to do is at least add a James there, and it would have got a lot more of my attention. Secondly, I don't recruit engineering. I never have. I never will. That is not the area that I recruit in. So Mark's also not looked at my profile and got no idea what I do. He's just seen recruiter, bang, through my resume. So that's his second mistake. The third mistake is he's just said my resume is attached. And I'm like, so what? Are you asking me a question? He hasn't asked me a question. He's done nothing to engage. If I get a message like this, I don't reply. I don't reply because I can see, apart from copying and pasting and spamming out, Mark here has made no effort. Here is what Mark should have done. Hi, James. I really enjoy the content that you share here on LinkedIn, especially your recent article about resumes. Due to COVID, I'm unfortunately on the employment market. I'm a trained engineer. However, to get busy again, I'd consider most work. Where do you think the best place to find work is at the moment? Thank you, Mark. All right, so what did Mark do well here? Well, he used my name, tick. He started off by paying me a compliment. He liked one of my articles. Very big tick. I like compliments, and I can also see that Mark has looked into my background, so he's done really well there. He's then explained to me why he's looking for work due to COVID. And while he wants engineering work, he's also actually open to other things. So the possibilities are a lot bigger. And then he's asked me a question. So where do I think the best place to find work is? It's a very friendly, easy to work question. If I got this message from Mark, I would reply. First message, no reply. Second message, I would reply. I would start engaging with Mark. Who knows where that conversation goes? Not every recruiter will reply, but a chance of getting the response to that message on the left is probably 10%. Chance of getting the response to the message on the right is well over 50. It is well over 50. So, like a lot of things, if you want to go and connect, go for it. I think you should. Don't be shy, but you've got to tell them why. Take the time to tailor a message and you'll get a lot better responses. And then asking for recommendations. So LinkedIn has the opportunity for you to ask for recommendations. Here are some on my profile. These sit just at the bottom of the profile and they just add to my credibility. They will add to your credibility. Go and ask somebody that you've worked with previously. It's like a mini reference. It only needs to be 3 or 4 sentences, but they sit on your profile, they stay there forever, and they look really good. You can create a good LinkedIn profile overnight, but it won't be recognized unless you continue to put the work in. It is an investment in your future. I notice all the time when I know someone's looking for work on LinkedIn because I've not seen them on there for months, and then all of a sudden they're on there 3 times a day posting and sharing. Don't be like that. Set aside just once or twice a week, set aside a little bit of time to be on LinkedIn and to compliment and like other people's stuff and to share something yourself so that when you need your LinkedIn profile, even if you land a job tomorrow and you think, hey, I don't need my LinkedIn profile, in 12 months' time, you might be looking for work again. And at that point in time, if you've been on LinkedIn regularly sharing, your profile is going to be so much better than trying to pick it back up, having not done anything on it for 6 to 12 months. So it is an investment in your future. Now, if you're still wanting more LinkedIn assistance, there's a lot of content actually on LinkedIn. Here's a LinkedIn profile checklist. Just type it into Google. This is from LinkedIn itself. There is a lot of resources available online. Now, upcoming workshops here at the Candidate Coach. So tomorrow, be back here at 11 o'clock, not 10. We're starting an hour later tomorrow. Job hunting tips in a competitive market. This is one of our most popular workshops because all of our other workshops are quite specific. Today it's LinkedIn. Next week it's interviews. Last week it was resume and cover letter. Tomorrow I'm going to give you 10 tips. 10 tips, and some of them are going to be quite unexpected on how you can actually stand out in a competitive market. So where you're watching this today, be back here tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Now, if you're still needing more assistance, go to our candidate coaching platform where you can watch 12 video coaching sessions presented by 7 different recruiters. We've also got resume and cover letter templates that you can download and complete. We've got interview questions based on your industry so you can practice and be prepared. We've got online tests, real online pre-employment tests, so you can get an understanding of your skills and how they sit compared to that testing bracket. We've got checklists to make sure you're best prepared for every step of the journey, articles you can download, specific advice for executive job seekers, plus more upcoming live workshops, all available, all provided to you for free. So thanks for your feedback. Thank you for joining us today. As always, we would love to hear from you. So the one thing that I would love for you to do for me is to complete a 2-minute survey. It's literally only 2 minutes and asks you what your thoughts were on today's workshop and what else can we do? We run 2 work on this platform. That's 8 a month. We want to make sure that we're providing you with workshops that are really relevant to you. So please click on that link and take 2 minutes to complete the survey. And also follow us on our LinkedIn page. I'll drop that link in there as well. We advertise all of our workshops, lots of other tools and resources for you to sink your teeth into if you are looking for work. But we'll finish today with a video around why it's important to look after your mental health when you're looking for work as a job seeker, because you do face some unique challenges. So thanks for joining me today. I'll see you back here at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, where we'll give you the 10 important tips around how to stand out as a candidate in a really competitive marketplace. Have a great day. Bye-bye for now.
If you're not feeling terrific at the moment and you feel like your mental well-being has taken a little bit of a dip, please remember this is not going to last forever. There's lots you can do to manage your mental health and get back on top of it. I am Dr. Sarah Barker. I'm a clinical psychologist. I've worked in workplace mental health with Black Dog Institute for the past 7 years. I work with a lot of adults and young people, mainly with anxiety, depression, trauma as well, a range of issues, and many who are looking for work and undergoing that process of trying to find employment. Looking for work causes mental strain because our identity is tied up with our work. Work gives us meaning, it gives us purpose, it gives us company and connection. So it's stressful for lots of reasons, looking for work, and it can take a toll on our mental health. It's really important for us to be aware of the signs that our well-being and our mental health might be dropping. Probably the biggest sign is changes in behaviour. So that might be changes in the way we're thinking or talking to ourselves. We might be saying things like, who would employ me? I'll never get a job. We might be really down on ourselves and really hard and critical on ourselves when normally we're not so hard and critical. We might also, in our relationships, change our behaviour. We might be more snappy or more irritable with people that we love, that normally we might be a little bit irritable sometimes, but not irritable in that way. Losing interest in things that usually sparked us and ignited us and gave us joy. So perhaps usually we like walking the dog and suddenly we start thinking, I can't be bothered walking the dog today. That sort of thing, those changes in behaviour are really significant because they tell us that something's different, and if we're noticing, I suppose, more than one of those and it's affecting the way we feel, and this is over a period of say 2 weeks or longer, then it's a really good idea to have a chat to a GP that you trust, and find out what might be going on, have a discussion and see if there's any physical reasons for that, or if perhaps your mental health and wellbeing might be able to do with a little bit of extra support, and then the GP can refer you on to see a psychologist, a counsellor, whoever is most appropriate for you. There are so many great things you can do to look after your mental health when you're looking for work, and it's really important that you do. My very top tip would be really talking kindly to yourself and being compassionate with yourself. I think when we're looking for work, we can have a lot more questions like, will I ever get a job? Will I ever be employed? It can feel like this could go on forever. So being kind to ourselves and saying things like, it will work out. There will be a day, my efforts will be rewarded. It will just take time. I just need to keep trying. Reminding yourself of your strengths. And that might even be tapping into people you love and asking them what your strengths are, because sometimes it's harder to find them when our mood's a bit low and we're feeling more worried. We can be harder on ourselves. I think that routine is really, really important to our well-being. When we're looking for work, we mightn't have such a regular routine because there mightn't be a 9 to 5 start and finish time for a job. Well, there isn't. So instead, thinking about looking for work as a job in itself can be helpful. Having a start time and a finish time can be really helpful, and some set tasks that you hope to achieve that day. Purpose is really important too. So purpose might come through routine, but it can also come through other things. Meaning's really important, and our work gives us meaning. So when we're looking for work, meaning mightn't feel like it's there as much. Part of what we can do is infuse those tasks with meaning. So I am doing these things today, I'm looking for work, and that is meaningful in itself because there's an end goal to this. It will be something that's good for me and good for the people that I love as well. Some excellent resources for looking after well-being when looking for work are the Headgear app. The Headgear app is free, it's evidence-based, it's developed by Black Dog Institute, and it is fun to use. It uses mindfulness, so a technique to really help us relax and reduce physiological arousal, which can often occur when we're feeling anxious. It's got a 30-day challenge, which is just short, bite-sized little challenges to extend your well-being and grow your well-being, and that can be really extra important when we're looking for work. There are also some really terrific resources available through the Black Dog Institute. One of them is a beautiful self-care plan that is encourages you to think about your top coping tips, the things that personally work best for you, that are positive coping strategies. Another really good resource is through Beyond Blue, and they've got some excellent resources to look after mental health while looking for work, and also when people are recently out of work as well. Probably time to seek professional assistance when you notice your mood is lower and you're feeling more down than usual, when you're worrying more and perhaps worrying excessively about things that you wouldn't normally worry about, and perhaps in your relationships too, when you're more tense with people and perhaps more snappy or irritable. All of these are signs that perhaps our mood is not in the greatest space, and our well-being is not in the greatest space, and that it can be a great idea then to chat to your GP, who can then refer you to an appropriate person to help you strengthen your well-being. It's very common for people to have a dip, but please know that that's not going to last forever, and that there's lots you can do through looking after yourself, but also through getting access to professional support that can really give you a boost again and get you back feeling good as you're looking for work.